Welcome to the new video. Old Cryptocoin, the story of the American 5-cent coin, becomes even more interesting when we look at three remarkable coins from the famous Jefferson Nickel series. For decades, this small coin has represented American history, leadership, and the legacy of one of the nation's most influential founding fathers, Thomas Jefferson. In this video, we will explore three fascinating Jefferson Nickel coins, their history, their design, and why collectors across the world continue to search for them. Even though the coin is only worth 5 cents in everyday spending, certain rare versions have become extremely valuable in the collector's market. The Jefferson Nickel was first introduced in 1938 to replace the famous Buffalo nickel, and since then has become one of the longest-running coin designs in the history of the United States. The first coin in our discussion is the classic 1938 Jefferson Nickel, the very first year this coin design appeared in circulation. The coin was designed by the American sculptor Felix Schlag, who won a national design competition organized by the United States Mint. On the front of the coin, also called the obverse, we see the portrait of Thomas Jefferson facing left. Jefferson was not only the third president of the United States, but also the main author of the United States Declaration of Independence. His intellectual influence on the country made him an ideal figure to appear on American currency. The portrait on the coin reflects dignity, calmness, and leadership, symbolizing the principles of freedom and democracy that Jefferson supported throughout his life. Turning the coin to the reverse side, we see a detailed image of Monticello, Jefferson's famous home located in Virginia. Monticello is one of the most historically important homes in American history because it represents Jefferson's architectural creativity and his love for classical design. The building on the coin is surrounded by the inscriptions E Pluribus Unum, Monticello, 5 cents, and United States of America. These words represent the unity of the country and the official value of the coin. When the 1938 Jefferson Nickel was first released, Americans were fascinated by its elegant design and its connection to one of the nation's greatest leaders. Collectors often search for coins in the first year of any design because they represent the beginning of a historical series. The 1938 Jefferson Nickel was minted in several locations, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins produced in different mints carry different mint marks, such as D for Denver and S for San Francisco. These small letters help collectors identify where a coin was produced. Some of these early Jefferson Nickels are extremely valuable today, especially if they remain in excellent condition. Coins that have never been circulated and still maintain their original shine can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars in specialized coin auctions. The second coin in our video is one of the most famous varieties in the Jefferson Nickel series, the wartime nickel produced during World War II. During the war, nickel metal was needed for military equipment, so the United States government decided to change the composition of the 5-cent coin. Between 1942 and 1945, Jefferson nickels were made using a special mixture of silver, copper, and manganese instead of the traditional nickel alloy. These coins are often called war nickels by collectors. One of the most interesting features of wartime Jefferson nickels is the large mint mark placed above Monticello on the reverse side. This was the first time in American coin history that the Philadelphia Mint used a P mint mark on circulating coins. This change helped the government easily identify the coins made with the special wartime metal composition. Today, collectors can quickly recognize these coins by looking for the large letter above Monticello. Because they contain silver, wartime nickels are also slightly more valuable than regular nickels, even in average condition. The third coin in our story is the modern Jefferson Nickel, representing the continuation of the series into the 21st century. In 2004 and 2005, the United States Mint introduced special commemorative designs to celebrate the bicentennial of the famous Lewis and Clark expedition, which was commissioned by President Thomas Jefferson. These coins temporarily changed the traditional design of the Jefferson Nickel to highlight important moments in American exploration history. Some coins from this commemorative series show images of the peace medal, the American bison, and the ocean view that explorers finally reached during their journey to the Pacific coast. In 2006, the classic Monticello design returned to the reverse side of the Jefferson Nickel, but with a modernized portrait of Jefferson on the obverse. This updated design gives the coin a sharper and more detailed appearance, while still respecting the long tradition of the series. The Jefferson nickel continues to circulate today as a reminder of American heritage and leadership. Even though millions of these coins are produced each year, certain rare varieties, mint errors, or high-grade specimens can become extremely valuable in the collector's market. Coin collectors, also known as numismatists, often spend years searching for rare Jefferson nickels to complete their collections. They examine every small detail of a coin, including its mint mark, condition, and any unusual errors that may have occurred during the minting process. Some coins may have doubled letters, misaligned designs, or other rare characteristics that make them unique. These rare varieties can dramatically increase the value of a coin, turning a simple 5-cent piece into a prized collectible worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Another fascinating aspect of Jefferson nickels is how they reflect changes in American history and technology. Over the decades, improvements in minting equipment have allowed the United States Mint to produce coins with greater precision and durability. At the same time, the design of the Jefferson nickel has remained remarkably consistent, proving how strongly Americans identify with the legacy of Thomas Jefferson and the symbolism of Monticello. For collectors and history enthusiasts, these 3 Jefferson nickels represent more than just currency. They are small pieces of American history that tell stories about leadership, exploration, and the challenges faced by the nation during wartime. Each coin carries a unique connection to the past, reminding us that even the smallest objects can hold great historical significance. From the first 1938 Jefferson nickel to the wartime silver nickels and the modern commemorative designs, the Jefferson nickel continues to be one of the most beloved coins in American numismatic history. So the next time you come across a 5-cent coin in your pocket, take a moment to look at it closely. That small coin might be part of a long historical tradition that stretches back more than 80 years. Whether you are a serious coin collector or simply curious about history, the Jefferson nickel offers a fascinating glimpse into the heritage of the United States and the enduring legacy of Thomas Jefferson. Step 1, the most recognizable coins in American pocket change, the 2000D Liberty Jefferson nickel. Although it may look like an ordinary 5-cent coin at first glance, collectors and history lovers know that every coin has a story. The Jefferson nickel has been part of American life for generations, and the 2000 issue continues that legacy with its own place in numismatic history. In this video, we will explore the design, history, minting process, collector value, rare varieties, and interesting facts about the 2000 D. Jefferson nickel from the United States of America. By the end of this deep dive, you will understand why even a simple 5-cent coin can hold historical and collectible significance. To understand the 2000 D. Jefferson nickel, we first need to look at the long history of the Jefferson Nickel series itself. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel that had been in circulation since 1913. The new design featured a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the 3rd President of the United States and the primary author of the Declaration of Independence. On the reverse side of the coin, the design displayed Jefferson's famous home, Monticello, located in Virginia. This design became one of the most enduring coin designs in U.S. history, lasting for decades with only small changes. The 2000 D. Jefferson nickel continues the classic design that Americans have recognized for many years. On the obverse side of the coin, you will see the left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson. The word Liberty appears to the right of the portrait along with the year 2000. The motto "In God We Trust" appears along the left side of the coin. This layout has been used on Jefferson nickels for many years and is a familiar sight for coin collectors and everyday Americans alike. Turning the coin over to the reverse side, the 2000 D. Jefferson nickel features the famous image of Monticello. The building is centered on the coin with the word Monticello written below it. Above the building, the words E pluribus unum appear, which means out of many one. Along the bottom of the coin, you will see the denomination 5 cents and the words United States of America. This elegant design reflects both American history and architecture. The D Mint mark on the 2000 D Jefferson nickel indicates that the coin was produced at the Denver Mint. The Denver Mint is one of the primary coin-producing facilities in the United States and has been striking coins for circulation since 1906. Coins minted in Denver carry the D Mint mark, which appears on the obverse side of the Jefferson nickel near the year. In the year 2000, The United States Mint produced a very large number of Jefferson nickels to meet the needs of circulation. Millions upon millions of these coins were struck at the Denver Mint, making the 2000 nickel a very common coin in everyday change. Because of the high mintage, most circulated examples of the coin are worth only their face value of 5 cents. However, collectors still search for high-quality specimens and special varieties that can be worth more. The composition of the 2000 Jefferson nickel follows the traditional formula used for U.S. nickels since the mid-20th century. Each coin is made from 75% copper and 25% nickel. This combination gives a coin its distinctive silver-gray color and strong durability. The coin weighs 5 grams and has a diameter of 21.21 millimeters. These physical specifications have remained consistent for decades, making the Jefferson nickel easy to recognize and handle. One of the interesting aspects of coin collecting is the search for coins in excellent condition. For the 2000 Jefferson nickel, collectors often look for coins graded in mint state condition. These coins have never been circulated and retain their original luster and sharp details. Professional grading services may assign grades such as MS 65, MS 66, or even MS 67 for coins with exceptional quality. Higher grade examples of the 2000 Jefferson nickel can sometimes sell for significantly more than face value. While a circulated coin may only be worth 5 cents, a pristine mint state example with strong strike and beautiful luster could be worth several dollars or more to the right collector. Coins with the designation full steps are particularly desirable. The term full steps refers to the steps of Monticello visible on the reverse of the coin. When a Jefferson nickel is struck with exceptional clarity, the steps of the building appear fully separated and sharply defined. These coins are known as full steps nickels and are highly sought after by collectors. Because it is difficult for the minting process to produce perfectly defined steps, these coins are rarer and often command higher prices in the collector market. Another fascinating area of coin collecting involves mint errors and varieties. Occasionally, coins are produced with unusual features due to mistakes in the minting process. These errors can include double dies, off-center strikes, clip planchets, or die cracks. If a 2000 Jefferson nickel were found with a significant mint error, its value could increase dramatically depending on the rarity and visual impact of the error. For collectors who enjoy searching through pocket change or bankrolls, the 2000 Jefferson nickel remains an interesting coin to examine. Because so many were produced, they are still commonly found in circulation today. This makes them accessible to beginner collectors who want to start building a Jefferson nickel collection without spending a lot of money. The year 2000 was also a symbolic year in American history because it marked the beginning of a new millennium. Many people save coins from the year 2000 as souvenirs or keepsakes. Although the 2000 Jefferson nickel was not part of the special commemorative program, its date still carries the significance of that historic moment in time. When collecting Jefferson nickels, many numismatists aim to complete a full date and mint mark set. This means obtaining at least one coin from each year and each mint where the coins were produced. The 2000 Jefferson nickel is an essential piece of such a collection, representing the Denver Mint's production for that year. Proper storage is important for preserving the quality of collectible coins. Collectors often store their Jefferson nickels in coin albums, holders, or protective capsules to prevent damage from moisture, fingerprints, or environmental factors. By protecting the coins carefully, collectors can maintain their condition and long-term value. Another interesting detail about the Jefferson nickel is its designer. The original obverse portrait of Thomas Jefferson was created by sculptor Felix Schlag. His design was selected in a competition held by the United States Mint in the late 1930s. The reverse image of Monticello was also part of his winning design. Although the reverse design has undergone small modifications over the years, the overall appearance remains true to Schlag's. Step to the 2001 Jefferson nickel is one of those modern American coins that many people overlook in their everyday change. Yet collectors and historians know that even a common-looking coin can hold fascinating stories about the nation's past, its design traditions, and the people who shaped American currency. When you hold a 2001 Jefferson nickel in your hand, you're not just holding a 5-cent piece. You are holding a small piece of American history that connects modern circulation coins to a design first introduced in 1938. The Jefferson nickel replaced the famous Buffalo nickel, and the design introduced a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, one of the most influential figures in American history. Jefferson was not only the third president of the United States, but also the principal author of the United States Declaration of Independence, making him a fitting figure to appear on a coin that circulates widely among the American people. The Jefferson Nickel series began in 1938, when the United States Mint held a design competition to replace the Buffalo nickel. The winning design was created by Felix Schlag, whose portrait of Thomas Jefferson has remained one of the longest-running coin designs in American history. Schlag's original design featured Jefferson on the obverse and his famous home, Monticello, on the reverse. This design remained largely unchanged for decades, which is why even coins like the 2001 D nickel still reflect the same artistic concept that began in the late 1930s. When examining a 2001 D Jefferson nickel closely, collectors will notice the familiar portrait of Jefferson facing left. Around the portrait appears the word Liberty, along with the year 2001, while the national motto, "In God We Trust," is placed near the edge of the coin. On the reverse side, Monticello stands prominently at the center, with the inscriptions E Pluribus Unum, United States of America, and 5 cents. These inscriptions reflect the coin's identity as a piece of federal currency and symbolize the unity of a nation. The mint mark D appears on the obverse side of the coin, indicating that this particular piece was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the major coin-producing facilities in the United States. The Denver Mint has played a crucial role in American coinage since it began producing coins in 1906. Over the decades, billions of coins have been struck there, including countless Jefferson nickels. In 2001, the Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of Jefferson nickels to meet the needs of commerce across the country. Although most of these coins entered everyday circulation, many collectors still search through bankrolls and pocket change, hoping to find well-preserved examples. Even a coin that was originally worth only 5 cents can become valuable if it is in exceptional condition or displays unusual minting characteristics. The composition of the 2001 D. Jefferson nickel is another interesting aspect for collectors. Like most modern nickels, it is made from a combination of 75% copper and 25% nickel. This alloy gives the coin its distinctive silver-colored appearance and makes it durable enough to survive years of circulation. Unlike silver coins from earlier periods of American coinage, modern nickels do not contain precious metal, yet they remain popular with collectors because of their historical continuity and design significance. Collectors often evaluate coins like the 2001 D. Jefferson nickel using a grading scale that ranges from poor to mint state. Coins that have circulated heavily may show wear on Jefferson's hair, the lettering around the rim, and the steps of Monticello on the reverse. However, coins that remain in mint state condition display sharp details and original mint luster. One of the most sought-after characteristics for Jefferson nickel collectors is the presence of full steps on Monticello. When the steps at the base of the building appear fully defined and uninterrupted, the coin may receive a higher grade from professional grading services. Even though the 2001 D nickel is considered a modern coin with a large mintage, some examples have achieved surprisingly strong prices among collectors. Coins graded at the highest levels by professional grading companies can sell for many times their face value, especially when they show exceptional strike quality and pristine surfaces. This illustrates an important principle of coin collecting. Rarity is not determined only by mintage numbers, but also by the number of coins that survive in top condition. The story of the Jefferson nickel also reflects the broader history of American coin design. Over the decades, the coin has undergone several small changes, including adjustments to the lettering and the placement of the mint mark. Yet the central elements of the design, Jefferson's portrait and the image of Monticello, have remained consistent, providing a visual connection between generations of Americans who have used these coins in everyday transactions. The year 2001 itself was an important moment in American history, marking the beginning of a new century and a period of major change in the nation and the world. Coins minted in that year, including the 2001 D. Jefferson nickel, became silent witnesses to those historical events. While the coin itself carries no special commemorative markings for the year, its existence reminds collectors that every coin is tied to the time in which it was produced. For beginner collectors, the Jefferson Nickel series offers an accessible way to explore the hobby of numismatics. Because many of these coins are still found in circulation, collectors can begin building a collection without spending large amounts of money. Searching through rolls of nickels from banks can reveal coins from different decades, mint marks, and conditions. Finding a well-preserved 2001D nickel can be an exciting discovery, especially for collectors working toward completing a full Jefferson nickel date and mint set. Another fascinating aspect of collecting modern coins is the possibility of discovering mint errors. Occasionally, coins leave the mint with unusual characteristics, such as off-center strikes, double dies, or clipped planchets. Although these errors are rare, they can transform an ordinary coin into a highly collectible piece. Some Jefferson nickels with striking errors have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the rarity and visual appeal of the error. The design of Monticello on the reverse side of the coin also carries deep symbolic meaning. Monticello was not only Jefferson's home, but also a place where he pursued his interests in architecture, science, agriculture, and philosophy. By placing Monticello on the nickel, the designers of the coin created a tribute not only to Jefferson the president, but also to Jefferson the thinker and innovator. This connection between the coin's imagery and the life of Thomas Jefferson adds another layer of historical depth to a coin that many people might otherwise overlook. Over the years, the Jefferson nickel has become one. Stapp Lost the Story of the Jefferson Nickel is one of the most fascinating chapters in American coinage, and among the modern issues that collectors continue to examine closely is the 2002 Jefferson Nickel. Introduced decades after the first Jefferson nickels were struck in 1938, the 2002 P version represents a continuation of a classic design that had already become deeply familiar to millions of Americans. Produced at the historic United States Mint facility in Philadelphia, the 2002 P nickel carries with it both tradition and modern production methods that define American coinage in the early 21st century. Although it might appear to be an ordinary 5-cent coin used daily in pocket change, the story behind it reveals layers of design history, minting technology, collecting culture, and the enduring legacy of America's third president, Thomas Jefferson. When you hold a 2002 P. Jefferson nickel, you are actually holding a small piece of American heritage. The obverse of the coin features a well-known portrait of Thomas Jefferson, a design originally created by German-American sculptor Felix Schlag. His portrait of Jefferson was selected in a national design competition in the late 1930s, replacing the Buffalo nickel design and establishing a new era for the 5-cent coin. By 2002, this portrait had already been used for more than 6 decades, making it one of the longest-running designs in United States coinage history. The familiar left-facing bust of Jefferson is accompanied by the inscriptions, "In God We Trust, Liberty." In the year 2002, while a small P mint mark indicates that the coin was produced in Philadelphia. The reverse side of the coin presents the iconic image of Jefferson's famous home, Monticello. This elegant neoclassical mansion, designed by Jefferson himself, symbolizes his passion for architecture, knowledge, and Enlightenment ideals. On the nickel, Monticello appears in simplified but recognizable form, accompanied by the inscriptions "E pluribus unum Monticello" and 5 cents. For decades, this reverse design served as one of the most recognizable images in American coinage. Even people who never paid much attention to coins could instantly identify the building on the back of a nickel as Monticello. The year 2002 falls within an interesting period in the history of the Jefferson Nickel series. During this time, the design had not yet undergone the major redesign that would arrive in 2004 and 2005 as part of the Westward Journey Nickel series. That program temporarily replaced the classic Monticello reverse with special designs commemorating the Lewis and Clark expedition. Because of this upcoming change, the 2002 P nickel represents one of the final years of the traditional Jefferson-Monticello combination before the temporary redesign. For collectors who enjoy completing date runs of classic designs, coins from the early 2000s, including the 2002 P, mark the closing chapter of a long design era. In terms of production numbers, the Philadelphia Mint struck hundreds of millions of 2002 P nickels, making them very common in circulation. Yet even a common coin can become interesting when examined closely. Coin collectors often search through rolls of nickels looking for pieces with exceptional condition or unusual minting errors. A perfectly preserved 2002 P nickel with strong luster and minimal marks may receive a high grade from professional grading services, and coins graded at the very highest levels, such as MS-67 or above, can sometimes command surprisingly strong prices in a collector market. The composition of the 2002 P. Jefferson nickel remains a traditional blend used since the 19th century, 75% copper and 25% nickel. This alloy gives a coin its distinctive silver-gray appearance and strong durability. Each coin weighs 5 grams and measures 21.21 millimeters in diameter. The edge is plain rather than reeded, and the coin is struck using high-speed presses capable of producing thousands of coins per hour. Despite this mass production process, each coin must still pass strict quality standards before entering circulation. One interesting aspect of modern Jefferson nickels, like the 2002 P, is the role they play in everyday American commerce. Although 5 cents may seem like a very small amount, the nickel continues to serve an important purpose in pricing, vending machines, parking meters, and small transactions. For many Americans, the nickel is one of the first coins children learn to recognize when they begin understanding money. In that sense, the 2002 P nickel is not just a collectible object, but also a familiar part of daily life. Collectors often study Jefferson nickels by examining details such as strike quality, luster, surface preservation, and the sharpness of Monticello's architectural lines. One of the most desirable characteristics in earlier Jefferson nickels is the presence of full steps on the steps of Monticello, a grading designation indicating that the steps appear fully struck without interruptions. While this feature is more commonly discussed in older issues from the 1940s to the 1960s, modern coins like the 2002 P can also be evaluated for the clarity of these details. Another fascinating part of collecting Jefferson nickels involves searching for mint errors and varieties. Even in the highly controlled environment of the United States Mint, mistakes occasionally occur. These can include off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, or die cracks. A 2002 P nickel with a noticeable mint error could attract significant interest from collectors who specialize in unusual coins. For treasure hunters who enjoy searching through bankrolls or pocket change, the possibility of discovering such an error adds excitement to the hobby. The legacy of Thomas Jefferson himself also adds historical depth to the coin. As the principal author of the United States Declaration of Independence, Jefferson played a central role in shaping the ideals of a young nation. He later served as the 3rd President of the United States and oversaw the Louisiana Purchase, which doubled the size of the country. By placing Jefferson's portrait on the 5-cent coin, the United States Mint honors his influence on American democracy and intellectual life. Over the years, the Jefferson nickel has become a favorite series among coin collectors because it is accessible and affordable. Unlike some rare coins that cost thousands of dollars, most Jefferson nickels can be collected directly from circulation or purchased at modest prices. This accessibility makes the series especially appealing to beginners. Many collectors begin their journey by assembling a complete set of Jefferson nickels from 1938 to the present, gradually learning about mint marks, varieties, and grading along the way. Even though the 2002 P nickel is not considered rare, its value can vary depending on condition. A circulated example might be worth only face value, but a coin preserved in mint state could be worth several dollars or more to the right collector.